I'm halfway through painting the last fence post when I notice the rust-colored Cadillac slowing in front of my yard again. Same one that's been crawling past 3 times a week since I moved in 6 months ago. The driver's window stays up. I catch a glimpse of mirrored sunglasses, a rigid jaw. No wave, no smile. Just that slow, heavy gaze sweeping over my property like it's his to inventory. Then he drives off. I lower my brush, heart thudding for reasons I can't quite explain. Just nerves, maybe. Just a neighbor curious about the new black woman on Ashgrove Lane. Ashgrove is the kind of place where lawns stay clipped within an inch of their lives and mailboxes match like soldiers in formation. A cul-de-sac stitched together by pale brick homes, each with stone lions, wind chimes, or little signs that say things like faith, family, freedom. I bought this house after years of working 2 jobs and saving every damn cent. And not just for the house, the land. A whole extra 1/3 acre that stretches behind my backyard. A rarity in a development like this. To me, it's everything. Fruit trees, a fire pit, a garden in progress. To them, I don't know yet, but I'm starting to feel it. "Morning, Ms. Wren," shouts little Eli from next door, waving a juice box. "Hey, baby." I smile, waving back. His mama, Olivia, hovers by the porch, blonde, Botoxed, and visibly uncomfortable when I moved in. She barely nods. Still, I've kept to myself. I join the HOA Zoom calls, pay dues on time, smile politely, and if the committee of retirees and country club wives don't smile back, that's fine. I didn't move here to be liked, but something's off. Started small. The first friendly reminder in my mailbox was about my trash bins. Please store them out of public view per section 4B of the HOA agreement. Next, a warning for unauthorized structures, referring to the birdhouse my niece made me in art camp. Then last week, a formal notice tucked in a bright red envelope. Dear Ms. Wren Carter, our records indicate that the plot of land behind your home, though currently in your use, is in fact designated as communal property under Ashgrove Homeowners Association jurisdiction. As such, any private use requires approval and monthly fee remittance. It was signed by Raymond C. Pollard, HOA president, the same man who drives the Cadillac. First I laughed. Communal property? I have the deed. I have the county line maps. I bought that land outright. But now I wonder if it's a joke or a warning. Because 2 days ago, someone unlatched my gate, left it swinging open. My garden beds were trampled. And last night, at 2 a.m., my motion lights flicked on, briefly catching a figure walking off my land. Whoever it was didn't run. They strolled, like they belonged, like I didn't, and that, more than anything, makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. The second notice arrives folded in a crisp manila envelope, slid neatly into my mailbox without postage. This time, it's not a warning. It's a bill. $312. Labeled Usage Fee for HOA Land March. Below it, in sterile legalese, is a line that chills me. Continued refusal to remit payment may result in lien placement or loss of community privileges. Community privileges? I sit on the porch steps, letter in hand, fingers trembling. My eyes drift to the trees I planted myself. Peach, cherry, and a stubborn fig still clawing its way upward from the earth. My garden beds, replanted after the trampling, look tender and young again. Vulnerable. They're coming for it. But how? I bought this property with a surveyor's report, a closing attorney, and 2 real estate agents nodding through every dotted line. It's mine. I know it is. But now there's a paper trail saying otherwise. A trail I didn't create. I show the notice to Olivia next door. She squints at it, lips pursed. Well, maybe it was just a clerical error, she says, brushing invisible dust off her yoga pants. Raymond can be intense, but he really cares about preserving the neighborhood's standards. By charging people to use their own land? She shrugs. I mean, you are using it a little differently. Fire pits aren't really our aesthetic. I stare at her. Our aesthetic? I echo, my voice sharper than I intend. Oh, don't make this about race, she says quickly, raising her hands. Nobody's treating you differently. Honestly, you just need to talk to Raymond. He's reasonable. But he isn't. I see him that afternoon, out walking his dog, a stiff golden retriever named Major. He pauses at the edge of my lawn like he's inspecting it, noticing something wrong, or looking for something to be wrong. Ms. Carter, he calls in that slow, formal tone people use when they want to remind you who's in charge. I trust you received the invoice. I received something, I say flatly. You're claiming my land is HOA property now? I'm not claiming anything, he replies, smiling without warmth. I'm enforcing the covenants. There's been some confusion with older plats, but I've reviewed the association's maps. I have the deed. Well, I'm sure that's something. But the board voted unanimously to enforce payment. You're welcome to appeal at the next meeting. Or settle it quietly now. He taps the envelope in his hand, the same one I found in my mailbox, and walks on. I stand there long after he's gone, heart pounding. The nerve, the certainty in his voice. Like my ownership means nothing. Like I mean nothing. Later that night, I dig out my documents. The original survey, the property map, my lawyer's letter, all the proof I thought would shield me. But there's something odd. The online map on the HOA website, newly updated, shows a faint dotted line slicing off the back of my lot. A line that wasn't there when I bought the house. A line I never drew. And suddenly I realize, this isn't just about land. It's about erasing my place here. Inch by inch, I show up to the HOA meeting with a folder thick enough to snap a plastic binder clip. Printed surveys. The original plat map. The deed stamped and signed by the county. I even bring drone footage from the realtor's listing, showing the property line stretching past the garden, past the fence, all the way to the tree line. I'm ready. The community center smells like lemon cleaner and stale coffee. The long folding table at the front is manned by Raymond Pollard and 3 other board members. All white, all older, all staring at me like I wandered into a private club. Raymond clears his throat. Ms. Carter, you have 5 minutes. I don't waste a second. I lay out everything. I cite the parcel number. I hand them copies. I even have the title insurance policy in hand. When I finish, the room is quiet. Olivia sits in the back row, avoiding my eyes. Then Raymond smiles, like he's humoring a child. Impressive research, but the board must act in accordance with our documentation, he says, tapping a glossy, laminated version of the HOA's property map. This clearly marks the disputed area as green space, which falls under HOA management. That map was updated after I moved in, I say, and your documentation doesn't override a legal deed. He shrugs. You're welcome to challenge it in court. A few chuckles ripple through the room. But until then, he continues, the fees stand. If you wish to avoid further penalties, I suggest compliance. A woman in pearls murmurs agreement. Someone claps. My skin is hot, not just with anger but humiliation. They're enjoying this, watching the only black homeowner on the block get dressed down like a child. I turn, eyes scanning the room for even one ally. One face that looks disgusted instead of entertained. I find her in the corner. Mrs. Jeannie Ellison, widow, 73. Been in this neighborhood since it was nothing but cow pasture and dirt roads. She gives me the smallest nod. After the meeting, she corners me outside. I remember when they built that house, she says. And I remember the original lot lines. You're not crazy. They're just playing dirty. Can you say that in writing? I ask, hopeful. She hesitates, then sighs. They'll come after me too. But maybe it's time someone shook their tree. We spend the next 2 weeks digging through county records. I go to the zoning office, the assessor's office, even pull archived permits. Everything confirms the same thing. The land is mine. But then my water gets shut off. A notice appears on my door, unpaid HOA fees. Fines totaling over $900 now, with threats of liens and attorney referrals. The fire pit I built, torn down one morning while I'm at work. I come home to find my garden trampled again, this time worse. Carrots uprooted, seedlings crushed, a ripped sign stuck in the soil. Communal area. Do not trespass. It's in Raymond's handwriting. I call the police. The officer, a young white guy named Wallace, shrugs after surveying the damage. If it's a civil dispute, there's not much we can do unless you catch someone in the act. I know who did this. I snap. He frowns. Without proof, it's your word against theirs. I glance around. Ring cameras. So many on this street, but none pointing toward my yard. Until Jeannie again. Her house is diagonal from mine. Her camera does catch the side gate and part of my garden. She pulls up the footage the next day. And there he is, Raymond Pollard, entering my backyard. No gloves, no mask, just confidence, entitlement, as if he owns the damn earth under his feet. I watch as he kicks over a planter, then bends to rip out a tomato vine. My stomach twists. Jeannie whispers, I told you, he's not just petty, he's dangerous. We download the footage, time-stamped, clear as daylight. I back it up to 3 drives and send copies to my lawyer, the county, and the local news tip line. Because this isn't just about me anymore. It's about what people like Raymond get away with when no one's watching. But now, everyone's about to start watching.